I think I might have the perfect plan for growing as a content creator in 2023. I'll be honest, this is the first time in a while that I've felt a real sense of clarity and purpose and direction, and like I actually know what my steps to success next year are gonna be. And it's a good feeling because maybe you can relate to this, but in the past as a content creator, I feel like I've just been kind of trying stuff out and seeing how it goes. I really feel like this strategy that I've built is going to help me stay consistent across 3 different platforms, create content that's gonna connect with my audience, and ultimately help me to grow. And so because I feel so satisfied with this plan, I was like, why don't I share it with all of you in case you're looking at this new year like a blank page on Google Docs with that blinking cursor and you're like, I have no idea where to start. So I'm gonna talk about all the details right down to what platforms I'm posting on, how many times per week I'm gonna post there, and what exactly my process, my workflow looks like to actually execute on that. Now, it is important to know that this strategy is customized to me. I built this out thinking about my own availability, my own, time commitments, and my own audience and my own goals. So this definitely isn't a one-size-fits-all strategy, but I do think that if you're feeling a little bit stuck and not sure what a social media growth plan might look like for you, this is a really great place to start. So to start things off, YouTube is my absolute top priority when it comes to content creation platforms. It's obviously where I have the largest audience, but it's also where I enjoy creating content for most. It's also the biggest driver of new clients to my agency, Creatorly Media, plus my biggest source of income when it comes to AdSense and brand deals. So needless to say, it's important. So here's what I've learned about YouTube in the past year, because honestly, this time last year, my YouTube channel was kinda in the dumps. And I've spent the entire past year experimenting and working towards increasing my view counts on my videos. First takeaway about YouTube that I'm definitely bringing into the new year is the homepage is way more important than search results. At the beginning of 2022, I was using the same old YouTube strategy that I always had, which was making sure that my titles were stuffed full of keywords, that the topics that I was covering were things people were directly and very literally searching for, and then I would just kind of create a thumbnail to match it. But I was starting to realize that even though my subscriber count was slowly and steadily ticking up, the amount of views that I was getting on each video was kind of low in comparison. And honestly, it made me really insecure. Like I still kind of feel a little bit insecure about that. But that's when I started looking into strategies that would actually help not just kind of slowly and passively grow my YouTube channel, but actually get me views on the videos that I was publishing each week. And that's when I discovered the strategies that help to get your videos on the homepage, which really is all about human connection rather than optimizing for like a search engine. And so what that means is creating really compelling titles, spending time on thought-provoking thumbnails, and then telling a concise and succinct story or providing information in a really succinct way in your video. Essentially, it's all about click-through rate and watch time. And so as I've been implementing that, I've seen a slow and steady increase of my average views per video. My goal for 2022 was by the end of the year to be getting 10,000 views on each video within 7 days of publishing. And I can't say that I am doing that 100% of the time, but I'm carrying this goal over to 2023. And I don't think you can expect every single YouTube video to be a banger, but what I'm looking for in terms of my goals around this is to get 10,000 views within 7 days of publishing on at least 3 out of 4 of my videos in a given month. So I want to take everything that I've learned through my experimentation this past year into 2023 and really aim to increase that view count on each video. So how am I going to do that? Here's my exact plan for YouTube in 2023. I am going to aim to publish 1 video per week rather than the 2 that I kind of was aiming for throughout last year. And I'm gonna make sure that every single one of those videos is chef's kiss perfect. Okay, probably not perfect. You can never be 100% perfect. But the point is, sometimes I get in this mode where I'm just focused on being consistent. And so sometimes I push stuff out that I'm not 100% happy with or I kind of rushed through. So that's why I'm taking down my quantity to once per week so I can really make sure that the quality is there. Priority is having a really, really strong concept that I feel excited and curious about, because in the past, I know the videos that I have felt the most excited and curious about are the ones that perform the best. So I think it's a little bit about following your gut, which can be hard to do. And hey, there's not always these like amazing thought-provoking topics just available, but it's just about trying your best. Now, when it comes to how to execute this, I've actually already got a pretty good workflow in place from being consistent on YouTube all these years, I've kind of found myself a routine, and here's what that looks like. I go through these bursts of inspiration where I have a bunch of ideas for videos, and so my content calendar is usually filled out 1 to 2 months in advance, at least just like the concept or maybe like an inkling of a title. I'll have it in there. So it's already ready for me when I sit down to do my work each week. So basically Monday is my scripting day. That's when I'm going to solidify the title, come up with the thumbnail concept, and write out the outline. Tuesday or Wednesday is when I sit down to film, like today it's Wednesday. And then Thursday will be my big editing day, and that gives me Friday as a little bit of wiggle room in case something takes longer than I think it will. I feel like for the past 3 years, I've been saying how TikTok needs to be a more important part of my content strategy. I mean, I could literally show you lists of goals from like 2020, 2021, and 2022 talking about how I need to make more TikToks. And now I feel like, okay, it's 2023. This time I need to focus on TikTok for real, which is why it's my second priority. My growth on TikTok this year has been pretty stagnant, if we're honest. I think I maybe went from like around 10,000 followers back in January, February to about 14,000 just a couple weeks ago. But then actually, in the past few weeks, I've had a little bit of a breakthrough. I posted a video that I wasn't really sure about, but like I knew the content was good, but I didn't know if the format would fit with TikTok, because really the vibe of it was a concept from one of my recent YouTube videos that I just like expanded on in like a minute and like 45 seconds. And I even added like B-roll, extra visuals, and graphics and stuff the way I would edit a YouTube video. And I didn't know if that style would translate, but as it turns out, oh my gosh, it does, because that TikTok got over 200,000 views. I made a follow-up TikTok explaining it further that got another like 18,000 views, and I now have over 18,000 TikTok followers. So I gained 4,000 new followers from that video, which is really exciting. Because I have had random videos like pop off this year that get like 60,000 views here or whatever, but it doesn't necessarily translate into new followers. So what I have discovered is taking a bit of a YouTube approach to TikTok seems to work pretty well. In that like I don't need to necessarily follow the trends or know what the latest memes or like audios are if I'm creating engaging and helpful content the same way that I do here on YouTube. And it's actually really exciting because it means I can take these videos that I'm making here and just take one piece of information, one, shareable sound bite, and then film a TikTok talking about that. So I think before where I felt intimidated about having to come up with this like brand new content strategy for TikTok and how I'm gonna keep up with trends, and do I have to just be watching 3 hours of TikTok a day to figure out what to post? And I realized that I can just share similar content that I share here on YouTube. And I think we're at a stage with TikTok where that kind of thing performs well there too. So with that in mind, this is my exact plan for TikTok growth in 2023. I am going to post 3 TikToks per week. That's gonna be like my base level. So I'm gonna plan to post Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And if inspiration strikes and I come up with something that's like quick and easy, like a little lip sync or some kind of meme thing, I'll throw it in there for fun, but I'm gonna post 3 times a week as a base level. Now I know you could probably post 3 times a day on TikTok and see better results. However, this is a plan based on what I can commit to and what's not going to lead to burnout for me. So right now, with the amount of work on my plate, 3 TikToks per week feels like something I can commit to, especially because I'm doing 1 video a week on YouTube. In terms of execution of this content calendar, I'm gonna keep a running list of ideas. I already have one set up in Notion that I'll just kind of quickly jot stuff down when it comes to mind. And so when I come into a new week, on Monday, as you'll remember, I'm scripting my YouTube video. I'm also gonna take some time on Monday to decide what 3, video concepts I wanna do on TikTok that week, plan them out for Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then I'm gonna write the scripts for those TikToks, because the kind that I'm making, they're gonna be like my YouTube videos. They're gonna have at least a bullet point outline. And then from there, my plan is to film and edit those TikToks same day. So on Monday, I will actually go ahead and film and edit and post first video for TikTok that I script, but then I'll come back on Wednesday and Friday and sit down and film and edit those like the same day. I'm estimating that this will take me anywhere from half an hour to an hour from start to finish once it's scripted, because it really doesn't take me that long to actually film it. It's just a matter of how complex the editing will be. And I think I also want to experiment with actually posting these TikToks to shorts as well, because there is such an alignment between my YouTube content and what I'm going to be posting on TikTok. It makes sense to me to post it on shorts. The only holdup with that is YouTube seems to be really committed to keeping shorts 60 seconds or less. And the videos like this that I've been making for TikTok are, maybe 2 or 3 minutes long. So that's not gonna work to just like repost the same thing. So I may have to just try out doing slightly shorter videos for TikTok so that I can double them up to shorts, or maybe just one a week. We'll see what I figure out, but I definitely do think that YouTube Shorts is gonna be more significant in the new year, and I feel like I need to get on top of that. But 60 seconds is so short. So we'll see how it goes. I know this one will be shocking for some people because it is a pretty big change for me, but going into 2023, Instagram is actually number 3 on my priority list when it comes to where I'm publishing content. This has not always been the case for me, but I really see Instagram right now solidifying its place in my strategy as the spot for my MVP, ride or die, bestie followers to come and connect with me and see the behind the scenes of my life. I definitely used to put emphasis on Instagram as a platform for me to reach new audiences and bring new people into my community. And I do think the way that I was posting for a while, that was working for me, but I just think where I'm at right now and the kind of creator I am, I think it makes more sense for YouTube and TikTok to be my kind of primary growth platforms, just because of the type of videos that I make. Now, I want to be clear here, there's lots of creators that are growing organically on Instagram and are seeing big audience growth by creating educational as well as lifestyle content on the platform. I think it just really depends on how you make your content and how you like to show up on Instagram. I just really feel like, based on my time commitment and sort of where my vibe is at going into this new year, YouTube and TikTok is where I'm gonna place emphasis on growing and reaching new people. And Instagram is where I'm gonna kind of chill with my existing community, share that behind the scenes, share a little bit more lifestyle, and also just try to have a little bit more fun. Because I think I've put a lot of pressure on myself with Instagram over the past few years, and I wanna be able to just make some cutesy reels sometimes and share photo dumps from my trips and not get really stressed about it. Once again, remember, this is a strategy for me. It's not necessarily a strategy for everybody. This is just how I'm choosing to approach it. Maybe for you, the best plan is to focus a lot on YouTube and Instagram and then have TikTok as your for fun place. That's kind of what I was doing for the past few years, and now I'm just kind of swapping. Okay, so what does this mean for the content that I'm actually going to post on Instagram? First of all, stories. I'm definitely going to continue being consistent with stories. This has become just a tried and true part of my content creation routine. I try to post on stories most days from Monday to Friday. I always take the weekends off, and sometimes I will add a few breaks midweek just to let my stories fully expire before I post again. Or if I don't really have anything worth sharing, I'll just take a break for that reason too. But I like to get on stories and share stuff about my creative process, my day-to-day work, and also what travel looks like as a digital nomad and a full-time online business owner. So it's a little bit of business, a little bit of pleasure on stories. I feel like I like to show the behind the scenes in a way that's gonna be interesting and relevant to my followers. So it's not just a free-for-all of my life, because I know that it's not all necessarily interesting. If I'm oh guys, last night I downloaded The Sims 4 onto my new laptop, so excited to play. I don't know that the people really care about that, but they might find it interesting to know that I'm changing out the microphone that I'm using on my camera, or I'm filming with a different camera on YouTube this time. That's sort of behind the scenes. Reels is also going to continue to be a part of my strategy, but I find it really interesting. In the past several months, I've really started to realize how different Reels and TikTok have become. I feel like when Reels was first released, the general advice was just take your best TikToks, throw them onto Reels. And I did that at first, and I had a few Reels get over 100,000 views. And I have not seen that success since, but that's just also, there's more people posting Reels now, obviously. But more to my point, I think that TikTok has more room for that YouTube style of content that I was talking about before. On my TikTok For You page, I see way more chatty videos, talking head, explainer, educational, helpful videos, as well as lifestyle stuff too, for sure. But I think Instagram Reels is really more focused on the visuals, the vibes, the aesthetics. Like most of the Reels that show up on my Reels page are like 7 to 10 seconds long. They're set to a trending audio, and it's a really beautiful video. Like it's all about the imagery on Instagram. So that's why a video for me that can get 200,000 views over on TikTok is only gonna get like maybe 8 to 10,000 views on Reels, because it's just not one of those like super striking visual type of videos. It's just me talking to the camera. And the third component to my Instagram strategy is adding in that personal touch. Like I was saying, I want to have more fun with Instagram. I want to be able to share the more lifestyle, behind the scenes stuff that I don't always get a chance to share on YouTube. So I want to include photo dumps from my trips. I want to include just like cute pictures here and there. I think as I continue to like do more traveling and like experiment with film photography, I want to share more of my photos. And I'm not necessarily expecting those to do super well in terms of engagement, but it's fun. And I think it's really important when you're posting this much content that you find the fun in it and you allow yourself to enjoy that creative process, because if you're only ever just focused on the numbers and engagement, you're gonna burn out. All right, so with all these plans for social media growth in mind, what are my specific goals? Like, how am I gonna know if this strategy was successful at the end of next year? So for YouTube, I was already kind of mentioning, but I actually don't have a subscriber goal. I really don't care if I hit 200,000 subscribers or I don't, or any of that, because I've really realized in the past year or so that subscribers really don't matter that much. To me, it's more important that my videos are actually getting views. So like I was saying, I want 3 out of every 4 videos ideally to get 10,000 views within the first 7 days. So the reason why I gave that kind of 75% sort of thing is that I recognize there are gonna be some videos that just don't perform as well. And calculating it as an average isn't necessarily that helpful, because then when I do have really top performers, it like drags the average up and it's not accurate. So I'm going to track how many views my videos get within the first 7 days, and as long as 3 out of 4 have gotten over 10,000, that's a check mark for that month. I have succeeded in my goal. For TikTok, my goal is really just to post consistently all year long. I have never done that on TikTok so far. I've been very sporadic and inconsistent, and I think it is very, very hard to guess what the outcome of that consistency might be. So my only goal is to just literally post 156 videos on TikTok next year. That would be 3 per week. And in general, I like to focus on actions instead of results, because you can't directly control how many TikTok followers you have, but you can directly control how many videos you make. So that's why that is my goal. For Instagram, I just want to have fun posting on Instagram again. I want to be creative, and ideally I want to work on increasing my engagement. Right now I have around 38,000 followers, and if I would get, just inch slowly closer to 40K by the end of next year, I would be fine with that. Like, I'm really not trying to get like viral growth on Instagram, but what I would like is to see my story views continue to increase, because I'm posting there all the time, and for me to be able to like get some better views with my reels and maybe a little bit more engagement on some of those carousels. That would be awesome. So really what I'm going to be measuring is my engagement rate rather than follower growth. So wish me luck. We'll check in at the end of 2023, and maybe I can let you know how I did on some of these goals now that I have told the world. So we'll all be watching, no pressure. As always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for another wonderful year here on YouTube. Your support really has meant the world to me, and I can't wait to continue on with more social media and business strategy tips for you in the new year. As always, I hope that you're having adventures and following your dreams, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.